as someone that creates content visually, different lenses, different cameras are just different tools to have in your toolbox of items that we use to create images, whether they be pictures or video. Sometimes we want to have an image that looks clear, contrasty, sharp, but other times we might want something that doesn't feel that way. And that's why today I'm taking a look at these Pro Mist filters from K&F or Ken Faith. Now I've got this black Pro Mist filter on my 28-75. We're gonna go ahead and shoot everything at 4K, 60 frames a second. We'll probably bump the shutter speed because I don't have NDs. Ooh, that's a little bright. And I didn't want to go ahead and use NDs because that might go ahead and change the look of this lens. So we're just gonna be stuck using aperture and shutter speed to control our exposure today. Black Pro Mist filters add a little bit of diffusion to your light source. If you look at them through a light, it just kind of looks like a hazy piece of glass. But what this does is it gives all of your highlights a softer feel. And when you are using Black Pro Mist filters or just Pro Mist filters in general, you'll have different strengths. Right now we have a 1/8 strength. We're gonna swap it over to a 1/4 strength. It's gonna be a little bit stronger, so it's gonna have a little bit more stylized look. Let's go. So coming back and reviewing some of the footage I shot with these K&F filters, at sunset, these things are magic. They just add an extra level of kind of organicness and kind of texture to your footage to make it look less sterile and digital. I wanted to see though how these would compare to actually using some vintage lenses. I have a set of Contax Zeiss lenses that I have cine modded that I use from time to time. And so in here in the studio, I shot some video footage of my wife just with my 50mm because I was using my Tamron zoom at 50mm for everything. And there is definitely a different look and different aesthetic between actual vintage lenses and these filters. These filters add a very calculated look, although it is very kind of organic. Part of what makes vintage lenses is the fact that there's like kind of issues in the optical formula of them. Things like kind of odd bokeh depending upon, you know, the type of aperture that you use. That's something that is like in all of my Contax Zeiss lenses because some of them have Ninja Star bokeh, some of them don't. The way it has chromatic aberrations, softness, those are all things that these don't necessarily change. So if you are trying to make your clinical modern zoom lenses like what I have look more vintage, this will definitely make your footage feel more organic, but it's not going to have the same kind of character that actual vintage lenses would have. I think that these lenses are awesome for shooting stuff at nighttime or when you're shooting into light. And I also think that these are great if you're shooting people. I think that it makes skin look nice and soft and like more natural and a little bit smoother. It would definitely make my job a lot easier for retouching portraits because you're gonna be able to hide a lot of the flaws in people's skin with one of these filters. The 1/4 strength was really, really strong and it changed the white balance quite a bit on my camera, or at least it seemed to make everything shift a little bit more yellow. Not that that's always necessarily a bad thing, but if you're using these, you're definitely gonna want a white balance with each of these separately if you're shooting them for video. For photo, you can just shoot raw and fix that afterwards. But I would definitely go ahead and recommend these for anyone that wants to add a little bit of character, especially to portraits, or if you're trying to shoot video and have that video feel a little bit less digital and a little bit more organic. These are great. They come in at a really nice price point. The cases for these are fine, but overall, this is a really solid product from K&F Concept, and I could definitely recommend it for most people that want to go ahead and spice up their photography or video production.